Welcome to Mike Brown Barbecue. Today I'm going to show you how to smoke tri-tip two ways. We're going to do a reverse seared smoked tri-tip, and we're going to smoke a tri-tip like a brisket on this 250-gallon offset smoker. Stay tuned. In this video, we're going to do tri-tip two ways. One weighs 2.66 pounds, the other one weighs almost 3 pounds. So we're going to do the 3-pound one like a brisket, and we're going to do this little 2.5-pound one like a reverse seared smoked steak. They're select, but that's all they had. They came from HEB. There you have it. That's what they look like. Let's get them cut open and seasoned. We'll start with the small one. I notice it's got a fat cap on the back of it. Trimming a little down on it. Don't need all that fat cap. And smoking it like a brisket, not this one. Well, that fat cap's a lot thicker than I thought it would be. I'm just going to go ahead and take this fat cap off. That's tri-tip's not supposed to have fat cap, not like a steak anyway. I'm going to take it off and expose that meat. As you can see, it don't have too much marbling in it. What I like to do when I'm trimming fat caps off is you angle your knife up like that, take that stuff off of there. Anyhow, I'm gonna call that good. The fat cap's been removed. All our fat's right there. I'll save that fat for some sausage one day. And that is gonna be that's gonna be the tri-tip for the reverse seared. Set it off to the side. This is our brisket tri-tip. It's meatier, thicker. Got a big gouge in it right there. I hate when that happens, but couldn't see it in the package, so we're just gonna deal with it. It's got a thick fat cap on it right here. I'll trim that fat cap down with the manifold. I'm going to trim this fat cap down to around 1/4 inch. Got a little deep in it right there, but it's not going to hurt nothing. But I like that. I like how that fat cap's trimmed down. We can deal with that. I'm debating on whether I should shape this up or not, so I've never really done a tri-tip like a brisket before. But I just feel like it's too much point on that end. So I'm going to take that end off. Give it a decent shape. Just like that. And also over here, now we got a nice shaped up tri-tip roast that we're going to smoke like a brisket. It don't look too bad. So I am going to put me a little binder on this fat cap side. We'll dab a little bit of olive oil on it. Oops, a little bit too much there. That olive oil in so it gets a little tacky on both sides. Get all up in there, slap your meat. And we'll start on our meat side. As you can see, that gouge is in it. Like I said, I'm not happy about that. Not a darn thing I can do about it. So we're just going to carry on. So we're going to hit it with that pepper first. Get the sides real good. Nice generous amount of pepper. And we're gonna go with a little bit of kosher salt. Not a whole lot. Just a little bit, and then we're gonna hit it next. That Lowry seasoning. Give it a little bit more flavor. This is Bondler's seasoning. I apologize. Keep wanting to say Lowry's, but it's Bondler's. Now we're gonna flip it over and do the same thing on the presentation side. I'll hit it with that black pepper. I'll hit it with that kosher salt. We're gonna hit it with a Bondler's seasoning. Just like that. As you can see, it's a beautiful tri-tip roast. Select grade. It's actually had decent marble for something that was select. So alright, next we're gonna do our reverse seared tri-tip. We'll get it seasoned up. And everything's gonna be just about the same on it. We're gonna hit it with black pepper. On all sides. A bit of kosher salt. And mind you, I'm doing this a few hours before I put this on so it can dry brine with all the salt and stuff in it. Put the salt on there, and then I'm gonna hit this with something a little bit different. I'm gonna hit it with that Bondler's extra fancy steak seasoning to finish it off, instead of the seasonal salt. I really like this on steaks. I did some reverse seared steaks the other day. This on there, and it was very, very tasty. You can put a generous amount on there. Don't be scared. This is a thick piece of steak. Pat that in. All right, folks. So there you have it. That's what our reverse seared tri-tip seasoned up looks like. So we're gonna go get a fire started. This on a 250 gallon smoker. Stay tuned. All right, guys. It's time to start a fire. And just like that, you got a fire. Bring you guys back when this coal bed gets burnt down and we throw our meat on. Stay tuned. All right, folks. It's time to throw our tri-tip on and we're gonna smoke like a brisket. Our coal bed is burnt down. We're gonna go ahead and throw this up on there. And as you can see, it came out to be a very pretty color. That lining's kind of screwed up. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. But we're gonna put this dude with the thick part facing toward the firebox right here in the middle. Toward the end, and I'm gonna let that sucker ride for about 3 hours before I look at it again. Then probably at that 3 hour mark, depending on what it looks like. This thing's not gonna take very long to cook. Then we'll put our reverse seared one on there and start letting it smoke with that one. But it won't go on next. Not going yet. We're gonna put that right there and let it ride for 3 hours, and then we're gonna go over there and we're gonna throw our green wood on the fire just like we would a brisket. Stay tuned, folks. We got our tri-tip on like a brisket. So what I like to do, this is a short cook. This meat's not very much. As you can see, our coal bed's burnt down. We're gonna go ahead and spread these coals out. You don't want to hit it too hard and get a bunch of ash up in here. Get a bunch of ash and stuff up in your firebox because you just put your meat on. But that is one hot coal bed we got there. So this is a short cook. Our tri-tip is 3 pounds, and I want to hit it with some hardcore smoke. So I've got thick pieces, dense oak wood here, and those are going to go on first, and they're going to catch quick because this coal bed is screaming hot. I'll put them on just like that. Then I got 2 more heavier pieces that I'm gonna go on there. Like I said, I want to blast this with some smoke and get some flavor in it. So we got them on. That's taken off. I'm gonna close my firebox door down to maybe about a 1/2 inch gap and let that nice dirty smoke hit that tri-tip. The lesser pounds of meat like that, you don't take in smoke with so many hours. So I want to hit it with that smoke and get it on there early because we'll be wrapping all this up in less than 2 or 3 hours. So I need to get that smoking on it. As you can see, it's a dirty smoke, but it's still a clean smoke. Give me that smokestack right there. That's what I want to hit it with for the next 2 hours, 3 hours. I'll bring you guys back here in a little bit. Stay tuned. All right, folks. This original setup that we had, we got 2 hours exactly burn time out of them dense logs. But as you can see, it's just about gone. So it's time to manage this fire. Go ahead and smash down your coals real good. I'm gonna move this coal bed up a little bit, just like that. Coal bed. I'm gonna front out, just like that. I'll bury these burnt pieces down in there. Still a little bit left. And again, we'll go on with some logs. There ain't nothing special about these, so we done took in all the smoke we could take. This is just good seasoned wood right here. It's gonna give us a constant burn, even burn. And we're gonna roll with it. Just mixed out. So I got a feeling that the tri-tip, it ought to be ready to wrap here shortly too. Got about another hour before we look at it. Stay tuned.
Alright guys, so I went ahead and I pulled our Trisket. The bark was set on it. The fat was rendered up on top. As you can see, it's got good color. Fat cap's nice and soft. It's time to get this thing wrapped up. What I'm going to pour in the wrap today and over the top of this Trisket is Wagyu beef tallow that I rendered down from a brisket I did here a while back. We'll pour this all over it and give it a little bit of help. It's a very lean piece of meat. It's a little bitty piece of meat, so it's pretty easy to wrap. So we'll fold this one side over right here. We'll fold the other side over and wrap it up just like a little miniature brisket. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Fold your excess back and scrunch it down and make sure everything's nice and tight. And there you have it, folks. We got this thing wrapped up. It's going to go back on the pit, and I look for it to be done here in another hour, hour and a half.
Alright guys, it's time to manage this fire again. Oh, that's hot. Just a little bit hot. As you can see, we're burnt down. It's time to smash these coals out a little bit. Bury these pieces that are just about burnt down in the coals to never be seen again. Everything is wrapped up, so I'm not worried about throwing too much coal. My coal bed's getting a little further back than I want, so I'll scoot it up just a little bit. We'll throw our next set of logs on there. Got a real big, dense ass log right here. That's gonna give me a lot of burn time. That's actually a piece of post oak. That's gonna go on right there. And I got another one right here. Not quite as big as the other one. Put that dude right there. And then two smaller ones up on top. Just like that. And that right there will carry us over to this tri-tip that we're smoking like a brisket. It's finished. So that's caught. We wrapped our tri-tip up about 30 minutes ago, so we're 3.5 hours into this. I estimate that tri-tip, it was 3 pounds, so it'll probably be done about the 4.5, 5 hour mark. We'll see. But we'll keep on going on it. That's how I manage my fire for a little bitty piece of meat. Stay tuned. Alright guys, it's time to check up on this tri-tip. We're at roughly the 4 hour mark, 4.5 hour, somewhere in there. Time to check it for internal temp. We're rocking a temp of right at 300 degrees now. So let's see what we got here. Really hard to tell with a little tiny piece of meat like that done. So it's hard to go by feel. We'll check internal temp on it. Go right here in the middle. And we're rocking about 190. You guys can see that. So we're rocking about 191 degrees and rising. And I'm going to call that good. I don't want to carry it over more than that because it's going to carry over anyway. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this and let it rest in the oven at 170 for a couple hours. We'll go ahead and slice it. Next time you guys see this will be when we slice it up. Stay tuned, guys. It is time to go ahead and put our reverse seared tri-tip on. As you can see, it's dry brined up, seasoned soaked in real good. It's got a nice color. We're going to stick it right there in the middle at the thick end facing the fire. And we're going to let it go for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half with that dirty smoke hitting it. So I'll bring you guys back here in a little bit. Stay tuned. So it's time to sear the sucker off. This open, or we're going to be searing off right over here. See the flames jumping up. Get our steak off this other side. Tri-tip, as you can see, it looks nice, good. You can hear that sizzle. Also, let it sit right there. Sizzle off for a minute. Catch that heat. I don't know if you can hear that or not. That is sizzling. It is hot. I'm going to let this go for a few minutes on each side. We flip it. We're going to go ahead and give it a flip. Turn it and put the stick side almost up against the baffle plate. Just like that. This is going to be good. This is actually my first time, believe it or not, cook a tri-tip. So we'll see how we did. I don't know if you can just see that on camera, but them ashes were shooting up through there. There's some serious heat coming through that exchange right now. Charring the steak up nice and good. I got a feeling the reverse sear is probably going to be better than the brisket tri-tip. I just don't think there was enough intermuscular fat in that to keep it from drying completely out. Could be wrong. It was select grade. Maybe it is good. We'll see in a little bit. Now we're going to turn this over again. Side to the fire. Let's let that sizzle. That's what you want. Go ahead and check it for an internal temp and make dang sure we're not overcooking it. I'm aiming for about a 140 internal temp, and that's about 130, and I can't really keep my hand there that long for y'all to see it. It is hot. Let's give it another flip. All around to this side. Got a little bit more to go on the degrees and we'll be good. This whole process will take less than 5 minutes. Once you reach an internal temp of about 120, 118, took smoke in for about an hour and a half. There's some smaller splits on there and cranked the heat up. I didn't video it, but y'all can go back to the tomahawk video. It's the same thing. It's got some serious flames shooting out of the exchange now. Now it's really getting kissed with that flame. At this point, though, you got to be careful. Keep moving when them flames are coming through there. Char nothing up, but you still want to crisp everything up, if that makes any sense. That flame's hitting that baffle plate and it's pulling through the exchange. That's what you want. So we're at 137 internal temp, and I'm going to call that good because it's going to carry over. I don't want to overcook this thing. See that beautiful tri-tip? Reverse seared? That looks good. Alright guys, next time you'll see this is when we slice it up. Stay tuned. Alright guys, after a little rest, this is what our tri-tip is looking like. It's time to slice into this. Like I was saying earlier, tri-tip's got two grains. You got grains running this way and grains running that way on these. I'm just going to slice into it with the grain against the grain this way. Look at that. Look how juicy that is. That's beautiful. Perfect medium. Let's try us a little piece of this. A little taste test. Man, that tri-tip's amazing. I was thinking maybe this was overrated, but damn, pretty good. Try one from the other end. This is from the other side of the grain. A little bit more rare, but it was a thicker piece. Just a little piece off of this. give this a try. Alright, so I will definitely be doing tri-tip again. See, that's one side of the grain. I think I like this side of the grain. But there you have it, folks. So that is our reverse seared tri-tip. Next, we'll slice into our brisket. Stay tuned. Now we have our tri-tip like a brisket here, and that looks real good. It's cooled off to an internal temp of about 165. Still a little hot, but I'll go ahead and cut this for my loud kids to get in the house. And I really can't tell which way the grain was as it done shrank up so much. So I'm just gonna start on this little end and make a little end slice right here. See how that works out. It's cutting like butter. Pull a little piece from in here. It's not completely dry, but it's got some juice. The fat's rendered up on top. That ain't too bad. That's all I'm gonna cut off of this for right now. Look of it right there. Let's just see how it tastes though. That's the main key, is taste. Let's take this bite. I don't know. It ain't the best thing I ever did in the world, but sure ain't the worst. When I do a tri-tip like this again, nah. That reverse seared was way better. This ain't bad, don't get me wrong. It's good for making sandwiches out of. Fat good on top. Everything tastes rendered. Just that thing that have a bunch of intermuscular fat. Not dry, by no means. Lean brisket, in my opinion, is better. There you have it, folks. This includes my little tri-tip experiment. First time cooking tri-tip. Did one like a brisket, and did one reverse seared. And the reverse seared is way better, in my opinion, than the tri-tip done like a brisket. Now I'm sure you can probably get prime and get a better cut of meat or some Wagyu and it'd be better. All my local HEB had was select, so I made do with what I had. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. See y'all later.